Hey guys, I am here to talk about the Super Total. The Iron Apocalypse Super Total Mega Meet will be here at the Bar Athletic Club on the 28th day of April on Saturday. It is comprised of 5 lifts. Not everyone is required to do all 5 lifts. 5 divisions are here and created. We have the first one, simplest, bench press only, which is to compete in the bench press, and that is it. Then there is the push-pull, which is bench press and deadlift, which is competing in just the bench press and just the deadlift, and a combined total of the two. Then the third way to compete is powerlifting, full powerlifting meet, which is squat, then bench press, then deadlift. And will be a total of all 3 lifts added together. And then the weightlifting, which will be the snatch and the clean and jerk. Those 2 lifts will be added together for one ultimate total. And then finally, we have the super total, which will be all 5 lifts, which will be the super total. So snatch, clean and jerk, squat, bench press, deadlift. Lifts will be done in that order. Each lift, in no matter the division, whether you're doing multiple divisions that you're enrolled in or just one, you will only be given 3 attempts to do each lift. So, for example, if you're doing bench press only, you get 3 attempts for bench press only. If you're registered at bench press only and in powerlifting, you still only get 3 attempts for bench press. Okay? So you'll do your 3 attempts on squat, then your 3 attempts on bench press, even though you're entered in bench press only and powerlifting, and then you do the deadlift. So same with super total. So if you entered in every single division, the push-pull, the bench only, the super total, the powerlifting, and the weightlifting, you only get 3 attempts still on each lift. But you do have the opportunity to get a medal in each of the 5 divisions, and you have the opportunity to get a award, a trophy for the best lifter in each division, male or female, pound for pound best lifter, which are some pretty nifty, awesome axes and swords and maces and daggers and awesome weapons. So, the first lift we're going to begin with is the snatch. We're beginning with the snatch because it's a more complex compound movement. You do not want to be benching before you do snatch or clean and jerk because the overhead work is pretty tough and strenuous on your pecs. They'll be tight. So anyways, to do the snatch and the clean and jerk, begin with the snatch. If you should know how to do the snatch if you're competing with it. What we're looking for is very basic. We want the barbell to come up from the floor in a traditional manner in one smooth motion up. If the bar does descend at any point in the movement and you have to rebound to pick it back up to complete the lift, then it is a no lift. If you get the barbell overhead and your elbows are not locked out and then you do have to press the weight through your elbows, then it is a no lift. When you do get the barbell overhead to complete the lift and lock out your elbows, then you wait for the judge's command to tell you to put it down, and then the lift will be complete. The clean and jerk will be done in the same fashion. Both lifts, when it is your turn, you begin the lift on your own accord after you're told the bar is loaded. And when you do finish and complete the lift, both lifts, snatch and the clean and jerk, you are told to put the weight down. And when you're told to put the weight down, the lift is finished. So clean and jerk, done in the same fashion. It's a 2-part lift. You do the power clean. We want one motion. When you do get the weight from the floor to your chest, to your upper body, then you have the jerk movement. You can do a split jerk, or you can have your feet symmetrical when you do the push press or the jerk. Either one is fine. When you do that movement, when you do the jerk, if you fail to complete the lift in one jerk, then you fail the lift. You do not get a second jerk attempt. But when you do press it out, of course, and you lock it out, the judge will tell you to put the weight down. They will say down, and the lift will be done and completed. So after those 2 lifts are done, then we will begin the squat. The squat is simple. When the bar is loaded, you'll know when to go up. When the bar is loaded, that's when you have time to lift. The initiation of the lift, your head judge will tell you to start, and you may begin your descent of your squat. The bottom of your lift must at least break parallel. Parallel on the squat is defined as your hip joint being below the top surface of your thigh. So if your hip joint is above the top surface of your thigh, like a quarter squat or a curtsy, then the lift is no good. Whether you get it up or not. So that's the bottom of your lift, is breaking parallel. Once you stand back up after being told to start, then you hold the locked out position, lock the knees, and hold the weight until you are told to re-rack the weight. And when you're given the rack command, the lift is done. You must make an attempt to rack the weight. Your spotters will assist you. That is the end of the lift. Do not step forward after the lift is done. Try, be balanced. Do not fall, of course. What we're looking for is for you to stand up with the weight and breaking parallel. The next lift is the bench press. Bench press, again, when the bar is said to be loaded, it is your turn and you have your time is started. The bench press, you are allowed to have a lift off. You do not have to have it. You have 3 commands on the bench press, so this is the most complicated of the commands of any lift. All the others have either 2 or 1 command. Squat has 2, everything else has 1, except bench press having 3. Bench press, you have a start command, a press command, and a rack command. So once you get on the bench and get set, the spotter, if you choose to take advantage of, will help you unrack the weight for you to press. When the judge sees you have the weight under control, you will be given the start command, and you can start descending the weight from the locked out position. You bring the barbell to your chest, touch your chest, and the judge will see that you have the weight under control. You will be given the press command. When you have the press command and you press the weight out, back up into what your position looked like in the start, and your elbows are locked out, then your judge will tell you to rack the weight, and you will make an effort to rack the weight. At this time, the lift is completed once the weight is racked. On this one, again, just like the snatch and clean and jerk, this rule also applies to squat and bench. If the bar descends after the weight is pressed up or ascending, if the weight does descend after ascending, then it is a no lift. Even if you descend and reascend, it is a no lift. On bench press, you can't bounce the bar off of your chest to get your weight. Once the press command is given, if you let the barbell sink into your chest and then press it in an effort to get a bounce off of your chest, that is a no lift. When the bar is on your chest, that must be the deepest point. And with the press command, you cannot move the bar any further down. It must go up only. Head must be on the bench. Hands on the bar, of course. Upper back on the bench, butt on the bench, feet flat on the floor. Then you have the deadlift. Deadlift, just like the snatch and clean and jerk, does not have a starting command. It has only a down command. So when the bar is said to be loaded and it's your turn and you approach the platform, you lift the weight off of the floor, standing behind the bar, and that is how it is to be done for snatch, clean and jerk, and deadlift. Stand behind the bar facing your judges and the crowd, if there is. When you do stand up with the weight, you will have your knees locked out. You'll have your posture looking good, hips under you. Then you're given the down command. That is the end of the lift. Do not drop the weight. Do not throw the weight. You must put the weight down. We're not looking for celebrations. Do not throw the weight. If you bust my bar, I'm not going to be happy. So, which I don't expect to be busted anyways, but still, don't throw my bar. Don't throw it. Things we're looking for on the deadlift. Do not hitch or do not ramp the barbell up. Hitching is observed when the barbell is on the thighs and you rest the barbell on your thighs and then you inch it up. You jerk it up, essentially. So if the barbell rests on the thighs and then you begin ascending again, then that's a hitch. If a ramp is when you pull the weight up and you rest the barbell on your thighs and thrust your thighs forward to ramp the barbell up your legs to alleviate some weight, basically alleviate the load off your body. Then that is called ramping, and that will be an incomplete lift. Must be one smooth motion from the floor to your upper body, or to your hips, basically. And that's it. I'll give you some demonstrations of what to expect, some images. But this is your brief introduction vocal. Brief vocal introduction.